There we go.
Well, hello there, everybody. Patricia Love, your life's cheerleader. Hope everybody's doing fabulous today and rocking it out. I know Christine and I are here. We're going to answer any questions you guys might have. This is all exciting. Our every month question and answers time, third Wednesday of every month. Kind of keep that in mind. So anyway, how you doing, Christine?
I'm good, Patricia. Thanks for asking. Things have been going really well. January is really, I can't believe it's almost over.
I know. Can you believe it? It's like, wow, it's the 21st. It's like, and it's just going, but I think it's going to be a great year, don't you think?
I do. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I know that my goals and everything and my structure is kind of in place, and I'm moving along, and I'm very happy about it. It really makes me feel good.
There's something to achievement, to like really starting to accomplish some things that really, I don't know, it impacts my mood for sure too.
Yeah, it definitely impacts everybody's mood, and just feeling good about things and yourself. I think that it's really important to not doubt yourself in a lot of cases. So hopefully we'll get some good questions here. We got a few people coming on.
Yeah, we'll kind of give a couple of minutes and let people get settled in. In the chat window, you can see that we have a little note there for you guys. The whole point of these Life's Cheerleader Q&A sessions is just a little troubleshooting that we want to do.
Say that again 3 times.
I think I need help troubleshooting the word. But we want to help you guys if there's something pressing that's been going on. This is a benefit we do for Life's Cheerleader members. We've opened it up today so that other people can see what it is that we do. But this is kind of your own personal coaching session. So if there's something that's been going on in your life and you would like to process, kind of soundboard, that's really one of the things that coaches do the best. We are great soundboards, and so in the chat area you can share with us your current situation, what's going on with you, and we can come up with some ideas together. So let's see, if we go into the chat, I think we have a question.
Okay, what do we got? What do we got, Christine? What do we got? I'm excited.
Yes. Okay, so this is cool. This question focuses on the topic that we've been covering in Life's Cheerleader this month, and that is about goal setting. We have a class this month about anti-resolutions, because those resolutions never really seem to work so well. But we were talking about setting real goals, and this person, let's see if I can find it. I switch back and forth. Okay, she asks, how do I quit doubting myself and really start to believe that I can accomplish my goals?
Wow, that's a great question, Christine.
It is.
You know, and I think one of my first answers, if you don't mind me starting.
Oh, please do.
Okay. Is, you know, self-doubt creeps in on us on a regular basis, and I find that in order to get over that doubting, you actually have to start practicing not doubting. And it sounds so, you know, easy for me to say this, but again, it's instead of, you know, thinking, oh, I can't do this, and self-doubt creeps in. What happens is it's almost like if you're feeding poison to a flower, or putting things on a flower bed, eventually that flower is going to die and just fade into the dirt. The biggest thing is you got to start putting fertilizer to help things grow. And what I mean by that is, instead of saying I can't, or oh my God, I'm not good enough, or this isn't going to work, you really have to start saying the opposite, and you need to practice it. You got to start practicing the fact every day, you know, I can do this. I am capable of doing this. And so it's an automatic practice of habits. Again, Patricia Love goes back to the habit thing all the time. but it truly is habit forming. So we have to start training our brain to thinking good things rather than bad things. So instead of doubting yourself, you're going to think that you can do it. Thoughts?
I started chuckling when you called it fertilizer. Because that is a great word for it. Because when you first start doing it, it feels like bullshit.
Yeah. You are so. I love that. I love that.
It feels like it because we're so used to negative self-talk that when we start changing it around and we start forcing ourselves to have positive self-talk, it feels awkward. It feels like we're lying to ourselves or that we're just being silly, and that's not what it is at all. But it is fertilizer. We need that in order to really start to grow.
We need that to grow, and it's just if we can kind of think of it in that way. And I love how you say that, because it is so hard. And the people that I coach that I tell, like, every day I want you to say something good about yourself. Every day I want you to do something. They're like looking at me like, are you crazy? You know, because first off, it's so hard to say nice things about yourself, like I can do something, or I look pretty, or I do this. It's so hard for us to do this. But when we start doing it, and I found, honestly, I found it a lot easier if I actually looked in the mirror. Because when I'm looking at myself, at first it really feels stupid. But then after a while, it's like, you actually can look at yourself, and in so many ways we want to look at ourselves. We want to look inside ourselves. And so by looking in the mirror at ourselves, it really helps us to really dig it down deeper than just saying it out loud to ourselves. Because it's kind of weird when you're actually looking at yourself like, hey, you can do it. You can do it. And it's like, at first it's like, oh, that's awkward. But again, it's a practice. And I can't tell people more than just keep trying it every day, and pretty soon it just really becomes a habit. And even if you do kind of go backwards, sometimes we're human, so we go backwards. Sometimes we go, that one day you kind of feel down or doubtful again. Once you start practicing these things, it's much easier to get out of it then, because then you just have to say it one time, like, oh, I can do that, really, rather than having to say it to you 20 times. So it's amazing how this habit starts to form, and it becomes easier to say nice things about yourself and say positive things that will get you ahead. And that is the key. Look at the, we don't have everybody here from Seattle, but look at the Seahawks. If you look at Pete Carroll, who's an incredible positive coach, he made them believe from the beginning that they could do that and win. And even though they were down and out, they just had self-positive. They didn't have the doubt. They just kept saying, you know what? We're not out till the last bell rings. We're not out. And this is what we need to do in life, is we're not out. We just keep on doing it. And don't doubt yourself, and just keep practicing. So anyway, add to that, please, Christine, because I'm like rambling here.
No, I was nodding.
Here we go again.
I was getting all excited. Yeah, that's it. But I was thinking about, I don't know if you remember back in the 80s, Saturday Night Live, there was this skit, the character's name was Stuart Smalley, and he used to sit in front of the mirror. I think it was Al Franken who played this character, and he would sit there and stare at himself and say, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. And it was... it was so funny, and they were kind of making fun of the affirmations movement, but there's real power in that. There's real power in actually looking at yourself and reminding yourself that there's value there. You have to do that in order to overcome doubt, I would say.
Absolutely, and you're so right. There is such power in it, and sometimes in order to feel that power, you've got to keep fueling it. So when you keep fueling it every day, that power gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and then you just know in your heart, I can do this. And a lot of times also another thing of doubt is sometimes if you're doing something that maybe you're not sure of and you're doubtful, I think a lot of times besides having the positive attitude is preparing. is preparing for something. Because when we prepare for things, like if you're doing a speech, I know I'm doing more speaking, and at first it was like if you're not prepared and you're winging it, as we say, you do have self-doubt that kind of creeps in. But if I find it when I study and prepare, then that self-doubt just is not as heavy. Mm-hmm. So I think another thing is studying and preparing yourself in order to do things in case you're looking for a promotion or you're looking for to move up in a career or speaking or whatever it might be. So there's different ways of creating a positive feeling about yourself within, because it does all come within. The other thing I might want to say is we got to remember that the external stuff out there is just external. It's just a big whirlwind out there. Everything comes from within, and our positive and how we feel about each other. So it's really important to build that and just kind of forget about everybody else, because most of the time they don't even care. So.
That is so true. Other people, they're thinking about themselves.
Totally.
They're not thinking
about them. A lot of them think about themselves a lot.
Yes. But I really like what you were talking about preparing. I think that is a real key to overcoming self-doubt. Sometimes doubt creeps up when we think too far ahead. That could be a big thing too. Like we kind of overwhelm ourselves by thinking about a huge project or what the main outcome will be. And at the end of the year, this is where I'll be. Well, holy crap, that's huge. And so I need to break that down. And that's part of the preparation. It's getting myself ready, but also getting myself ready for the next step. Not getting myself ready for December, getting myself ready for what am I going to do this week? What am I going to do toward that goal? And that kind of breaking it down into chunks, that helps us overcome some of that self-doubt too. So I like that preparation piece that you added.
I agree, and it's so important for us as human beings. We like to feel like we've done something. And when we've done something or accomplished something, it builds our confidence. So even if it's just a breakdown of a week, and you have like a big goal at the end of the week, if you can break that down into little smaller goals to get there, like for instance, yesterday I finished two things, or a blog, and that's all I was going to do because I just wanted to make sure that was done. Well, I did that, so I accomplished it, but then I was able to add a few other items on there, so I got even more done. But the thing is I felt accomplishment. It's like, I did this. And that builds confidence in you. So try not to overwhelm yourself in putting too much on your plate, thinking you got to get it all done now. Take little slices and make little accomplishments, and then those little accomplishments can turn into bigger accomplishments all the time. So I find that people, and I think we've talked about this before, but they put a big goal up, and then they overwhelm themselves. So I'm going to remind people to continually do small, itty-bitty goals, and it's nothing better than like, whoa, I got that. And when you do accomplish something, pat yourself on the back. Like, yes, I did that. I got it done. And just that excitement, it actually brings your endorphins out again, and endorphins make you feel good. So again, it's creating excitement in your body and endorphins. It all works together.
Mm-hmm, definitely. I was thinking of something else too with self-doubt, and that is when I get into that mode, sometimes I don't even realize that I'm there. And like the self-defeating, the negative comments that I might be making, I don't always notice that I'm doing it. And so I would say another tip would be to have a friend help. Have a friend call you out when you're in self-doubt, and have them call you out when you're making negative statements or statements about how you're not going to achieve. Like those kind of, sometimes I do it, I don't even notice it.
Oh, I completely agree, Christine. It's accountability. And again, I think we kind of talked about this even in our class a little bit, that having somebody or just a friend that we'll call you on your BS basically, or that you're, or the negative stuff that you're doing or saying to yourself, because we do unconsciously say terrible things about ourselves sometimes. I catch myself all the time like, oh, you idiot. Well, that's a terrible thing to say about myself. And we do this all the time, but when you start doing that on a regular basis, your mind is very smart, and it just keeps telling you that you're an idiot, and then of course then you really think you are. So you just got to redo that. So it's amazing what we do to ourselves. So I think that's a great idea. Again, having a partner or a friend, even if it's just a text for accountability. I've been doing with my coaching. Now I'm actually sending little texts to some of a person that I'm working with, and I'm just sending a little upbeat text every day. Did you say something good about yourself? Did you do this? And it kind of sometimes will change our mind a little bit, like, oh, how did she know that? Did she catch me? And it's amazing. It helps turn them around just a tad bit.
Mm-hmm. It does. This is a really interesting topic for us, especially as coaches. There's a concept called limiting beliefs, and coaches work with this with clients all the time. Everybody has limiting beliefs, and they came to us through our experiences growing up, through the different agents of socialization that we've had. So those, that was kind of a fancy sociology word. Sorry about that.
Did you repeat that, please?
Yeah, let me back up for a second. Sorry, the teacher came out. Okay, so
layman's terms.
Yes. So we, while we're growing up, there are lots of different influences on us in our lives. Like our parents are one of our primary influencers, our peer groups, the media, our teachers, and so all of these different groups influence who we become and how we see ourselves. And so those, they tell us the good things and they tell us bad things. They tell us who we should be as little boys and little girls. They tell us how little girls should be smart at some things but not at others. And so I don't know how many times I've heard women tell me they can't do math. And it's something that we are trained. Oh, well, that's, boys are good at math and science, and girls are good at what? Dishes?
Home ec.
No, I'm just kidding. But those kind of.
I'm not good at dishes. Trust me, I'm really bad.
Yeah, I mean those are what frame our limiting beliefs, and that's the kind of thing that Patricia and I are talking about right now, and that's the root of these self-doubt statements. So when you start thinking, oh, I can't do this, or oh, I can't be an accountant because I'm not good at math, are you kidding me? Like, who told you that, and why are you going to keep believing it?
Right. Well, that is so true. It's just roles that we get put into when we're young, and it's unconscious, and a lot of people do it very not to be hurtful in some ways. It's just what they knew, and so they kind of unfortunately maybe instill it into their child or their friends or and such. But it also is a learned process, and learned processes can be changed. And that's the key here, because I think we have a lot of people, because we actually have another question here that's saying, well, how do you do that when you've grown up with all this doubt and people telling you this and this? It really is changeable, and I grew up with that same way. And honestly, with Christine saying that that I couldn't do certain things because I was a girl and all this, and I had to learn to change the way I thought. Mm-hmm. And it takes time, it takes practice, but you know what? It can be done. If you truly want to change and you want to start thinking on positive stuff and remove those old, tapes that are in the, is it tapes now or CDs? Tapes that are ahead, the BS tapes, way back in the day, that keep going round and round and round. We just what we want to do, because you can cut those just cut them, like get rid of them, pull them out, get rid of them, and start putting new processes in your mind. And it does take time. But you know what? Anything good and improvement takes time. And I mean, gosh, I'm now 62 years old. I'm 63rd year. But I had to change, gosh, a lot of things just in the last 5 or 6 years. And oh my goodness, it really makes a difference. Mm-hmm. But I practice it every single day. Every single day.
Yeah, and it's never too late.
Never.
It's never too late to make changes to how we see ourselves, to believing in ourselves. There's no time frame on that. It's not that if I didn't do it by now, I can't do it. Well, that's another limiting belief. I'm
right.
too old, or I'm too young, or I'm too this or too that. No, we don't have to buy into those. And so a lot of times it's just a matter of acknowledging that those are limiting us, and we choose not to.
Yes, and I think that is the key, Christine, and people who are listening. Change is hard, but anything that's happened in your life, it can totally be done, but you truly have to, in your heart, want to change.
Yes.
And when you do and make that decision, and just like you've done in lots of lives, when you really want something, you can obtain it when you really strive for it. But it's just that mind in your side that says, okay, I'm ready. I want to change, and I will do anything to be better, and I will do anything to change. That's what it takes. And let me tell you, once you've made that decision, and you've got some accountability, and you've got people on your side supporting you, you can do anything. Because when your mindset changes to a positive one, oh my God, the world and opportunities just open up. It's absolutely amazing. I know that whenever I doubted myself, things start kind of happening bad. I mean, just little things. But as soon as I change my mindset and my thinking around to like either abundance or different things, then it's completely awesome. So anyways, yeah, so that's it's such a great feeling when you can actually decide to make that change. So what do you think, Christine?
I think so. And I think that it can be really fun. I think making changes in our lives can feel like things are too serious. Like, oh, I've got to change myself. I've got to, like we can get really overwhelmed even just with our need for positivity.
Right.
And I think that a big part of that is seeing the humor in life and really having fun. Because that opens us up for positivity, and that's what I love about Life's Cheerleader. In the membership site where we are, we just have a lot of fun. There's a lot of positive energy, and we just laugh together. And so I think that's one of the keys. Like, we can't forget about laughing.
I completely agree, Christine, because you know what? The hardest thing we have to do is laugh at ourselves. People it's like they don't like to laugh at themselves. Oh my God, I do some stupid things all day long, and I just constantly have to laugh at myself, and it's like, oh, that was a good one, Patricia. So it does, and besides that, laughter again, it's all about feeling good and making fun of yourself. You don't have to make fun of anybody else, but it's just fun to laugh and get those endorphins. And again, that's a mind changer. That's a mindset changer. And whether it's laughing or putting a funny video on, if you're self-doubting yourself on certain things, you can change your mindset so easily by just doing some fun little things. So, it looks like we have a couple other people online here. Does anybody else have any questions at all?
Yeah, we have a couple more minutes.
So we want to make sure we get anybody's questions.
Mm-hmm. I do have a tendency to really take myself too seriously sometimes. And so that is one of those things that I always need to remind myself. I don't think life is meant to be serious. It's supposed to be joyful. And when I lose touch with my joy, then I kind of go into a pit.
Well, Christine, that's why you have me.
I know, exactly. I love it. And it just,
We can
we all
get
need,
you out of that serious rut all the time.
yes, we need those friends in our lives.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, it's I just want to mention too about Life's Cheerleader because we are getting a little bit closer to our last few minutes. But you know, in Life's Cheerleader, we actually support, and it's so important to have that accountability and support when everybody's thinking self-doubt about themselves or they can't do things. We are here to cheer you on, you know, every single day, and that's what it's all about. Besides us doing our monthly classes and our challenges, oh my God, our challenges are awesome. I got to tell you, the challenges in Life's Cheerleader really help us change habits because we talked about this before. It's committing to daily positive habits that can make changes in your life and change your mindset. And by these challenges that we're doing, I'm seeing some people in there like, things are changing because once you start getting positive habits every day, it reflects on the rest of your life. So that's what's so important. So I think that if you want to check us out, come into Life's Cheerleader, join us, and so we can help support you in everything you do also.
Mhm.
So, but I love all the questions today we've had as far as self-doubting and how we get out of being negative and the such, because we just got to remind everybody to start looking in the mirror, tell yourself how great you are, and so you start believing it, even though you're going to laugh at yourself the first time, because that's what I did. It's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? You know? But once you start doing it, and then it's like you walk into the mirror after a while, like about 2 weeks in, you're like, oh yeah, you are fabulous. And you can make fun with it and have a good time, and that's what's so important.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And so that I think I'll kind of allude to our last, or we'll take this question as our last one
okay.
today. We got the question, when are you guys going to rap again? Soon.
We're actually going to be making some more trailers here coming up here this next week, so we're going to make some really fun ones. I don't know if it's rap. We're going to do some really interesting, shocking surprise stuff because we have a ball at that, and it's just fun to laugh at ourselves and yet be serious about what we're doing in the long run. So,
Exactly. So if you haven't seen the Life's Cheerleader rap, it is on YouTube.
yes.
And so word.
Yeah. So, where's my hat?
Well, we want to thank you all for joining us today. I feel like this has been a really neat talk, and we've been really able to spend some focused time on a couple of good questions
Yes.
About self-doubt and getting over it, because that's key to having a happy life.
Absolutely. So remember, every third week, every third Wednesday of the month, we do free question and answering for 30 minutes. So we want people to come and ask us questions, and if they're to troubleshoot their life a little bit. This is a great opportunity to get to know us at Life's Cheerleader, but also help troubleshoot your life a little bit and maybe get some closure or some questions answered. And we love doing that because we love helping and supporting others. I know I do, and I know Christine does. So.
Yes, indeed.
So anything else we have going here? Should we just be winding this up?
I think we're pretty much out of time. We can't get to any other questions today. But for those of you that are members, know that your questions will come over into the pep chat, and we will continue the conversation online.
Exactly. And then look forward to, if you join, we got a great class on self-care. Is it for February? Is that?
Yeah, February our theme is going to be self-care.
Yeah, we got some cool rap stuff coming up on that one. There's some cool trailers, right? It's going to be awesome. So everybody go out and have an awesome day. Think positive, and just remember, you can do anything. Believe in yourself. You are capable and can do anything. So we'll talk soon. Thanks, Christine.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Patricia.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.